Tough game last night against the Miami Heat for you guys. What'd you learn about that basketball team?
Just getting used to their speed and athleticism, and dealing with, drawing two defenders and making reads to find the open guys. So definitely a learning experience and a bump in the road, but looking forward to improving.
With everything that's going on around you, Jeremy, how are you just finding time right now just to get quiet, take some time with family and friends?
I think that's what this weekend's for. After tonight and a couple things tomorrow morning, I'm done for the weekend, and so just going to get away and spend time with family and friends and just enjoy it, relax for once.
Kind of a fat chance on rye bread that you're going to get some time on your own in the next 48 hours here at All-Star Weekend. So, and the second half of the year, Jeremy, as far as how you guys are going to get this thing together, I mean, just for you, the potential is there. Do you see it? Do you feel it? Do you think you guys are going to be able to put it together?
Yeah, definitely. We've been talking about it, and we have guys coming in, and Melo back from injury, and we have Barron and JR. So we're going to take a little bit of time to adjust, but that's all we're talking about right now, and guys are buying in. And so I think it's just a matter of time before we really develop that chemistry that we need to be able to kind of go on a run and win a few games in a row.
All right, Jeremy, enjoy. Get out there. I'm taking time away. Get out there. Run the point. My bad. Run the point.
America, take a good look at your beloved candidates. They're nothing but hideous space reptiles. It's true. They are aliens. But what are you going to do about it? It's a two-party system. You have to vote for one of us.
Right, this is a two-party system.
Well, I believe I'll vote for a third-party candidate.
Go ahead. Throw your vote away.
Draw a small grade.
Are these the aliens that you've seen?
No, but
Which ones do you see?
yeah, these right here.
How do they breathe oxygen?
Yes, they can breathe oxygen. The atmosphere on their planet is very similar, but it's a binary star system, so they have like two suns, which makes the air a lot drier. Their skin is their bones are more fragile than ours. But they kind of.
So I can fucking.
They kind of look aliens from Dreamcast.
They don't want to fuck.
What's their body look like?
Their bodies, well, only
Do
seen
they walk around naked? Do they wear clothes? What do they do?
Yeah, the chicks have boobs.
How do they
on
fuck?
their home planet. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Now, see, they didn't. I'm reading this that exchange program that Steven Spielberg explained at the end of Close Encounters of the Third Kind was really close to
Draw a female up there because I want to see if I fuck it.
Well, I don't know. They look the same.
When the special sport comes down,
How do you tell a male from a female?
Your point?
They got fun bags.
No, not from what I.
So a mother.
actually,
EBE1 is a female. The one, was a female. She actually.
Draw the other one. This is the gray. Draw all three of them.
Do the girls have
Because I want to know which one I
What
want
do
to
the reptile ones look
Which
like?
one I'd fuck.
And then there's another one, which is
interspecies-
actually a clone. These things created a clone, which looks something similar, but it
And
has
these
a
are
large
bad dudes?
pointy
They
nose.
cloned?
They have large, pointy noses, but they pretty much.
And you said they live among us, huh?
There was another incident called the. What was it? Hangar number 4 incident.
Squidward.
Okay.
Hangar number 4. And these right here are the tall whites, and they're actually a clone created by the small grays.
Are they
They're like servants.
What's the angry ones look like? The reptile ones that you were talking about.
Fucking bad. The ones that we're gonna be fighting.
Yeah, they have small eyes.
Yeah, we actually saw those in Battle LA.
They had small
They
eyes
were just in their
and
When they cut open their stomachs and found
They got
out
weapons?
They didn't have a heart, just
so
a core.
they had weapons.
They're kind of like an onion.
Do they have weapons?
layers.
But it's okay, she's a veterinarian.
Are
She
they
can help.
are they evil?
The alien ones
Or not?
They look like reptiles, not friendly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. This is a very bad drawing, but
It's bad.
That's pretty good to me.
This is Jizz on Land and Lost, right?
Just eat somebody.
How tall are those motherfuckers right there?
These guys right here, and they're all humanoids, so they both walk on 2 legs. They all walk on 2 legs.
Well, I don't want to fuck that thing.
And this thing right
The
here,
first thing, and they'll go like the fucking first one. I'd probably fuck
this thing right here is huge. They're actually they're taller than us. They stand about 6 foot something on an average to 7 foot.
Are they like 230?
They're huge. I don't know, but
They're gonna fuck me
the
up.
one image that I have seen of them, they're huge. Like they have a very strong build. Like,
But their bones are fragile.
no, not those.
Dude, this is going on
Small-
American Funny
small.
Home Videos.
Well, what's up with the fucking big dudes? Like, what's their fucking planet like?
Yeah.
This guy?
Yeah.
I don't know, but they.
How do they react? Can they breathe oxygen too?
These, yes, but these and these had a large war.
Okay, who won?
These guys, well, no, these guys won. They almost wiped these out, but
They had a soft spot.
So we should be more worried
but
about
their
the little
planet
ones.
was destroyed, so they had to go to Serpo. which
Well,
is
this guy's
another-
got a fucking bunch of motherfucking clones. So.
How do you know that there was an alien war?
Because EVE1 said so.
I actually watched Star Wars.
What the fuck is EVE1?
We support. We exchanged the
sur-
motherfucking.
it's
We did
the
like a foreign
surviving.
exchange program.
The
Yeah, we exchanged some
EVE1.
humans for some fucking aliens. They took us back to their fucking planet.
They
and
took
they
12
say,
of
"Fuck
us.
you."
If you go online and look at under the Majestic 12, and actually, so President who was it? Told Steven Spielberg when that movie was made, in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the president told Steven Spielberg that he hit the nail on the head, and pretty much with because at the end of the movie you can count them. They send
Are these
12 humans
motherfuckers,
in
when
red.
this asteroid or whatever the fuck's gonna go on here pretty soon, are these motherfuckers gonna come help us out, or what are they gonna do?
Well.
Nope,
This
they're still
asteroid's
going to be
supposed to
flying
be
around a wrecking
2016?
spaceship.
2012.
2012, December 21st, 2012.
The asteroid, that fucking.
The-
Okay.
Okay, there was
Are
an
those
asteroid.
motherfuckers gonna come help us out?
Maybe Jesus
there's-
was an alien.
You know what? They said that's a very strong possibility. That he wasn't an alien, but he was. Our DNA has been altered 68 times since the caveman days. So
Do you believe in? Do you not believe in Jesus?
Come help us out.
I do.
Do you believe he was an alien?
Knowing if I need to send money or if I need
I
to
don't
spend my
know what kind of
money,
DNA
what do I
he had.
do?
Do I
Are
buy
these
stocks
motherfuckers
or
gonna come
sell
help us out?
stocks?
Because if not, then I'll fucking blow all my money and shit and have a good fucking time.
Okay, well, the thing that they're calling an asteroid that's supposed to hit us and destroy us was actually not an asteroid. It's a spaceship.
Holy shit, we're done.
It is. It was actually a spaceship of the reptilian kind, but it's since then.
So we're gonna get invaded.
No, that's what they were talking about.
It's going to be a raid.
But
This
check
is
it out.
where this all ties into the military.
Iron Man.
Yeah, we have the Avengers.
Yeah.
Thank God.
No,
Hey,
it
where are
was,
these motherfuckers at? Because if these motherfuckers are like within a couple years out, these motherfuckers are nowhere to be seen. What the fuck's going on?
well, that's what we're doing. We're forming an alliance with them. We've actually sent 12 of our own to their planet, and they stayed there for 13 years.
How did we get our guys to this?
Does Obama know about it? It was supposed to be set. I'm pretty sure he knows. I'm pretty sure all the presidents know something about it, but there's no telling.
Make these in
Alright.
There's three
So,
pages.
this fucking brown dwarf or whatever the fuck it is, it's not really a fucking.
Langfeld went off to his.
He got abducted by aliens, and he's telling us about what's gonna happen when the aliens attack.
They were coming to invade us, but
They
they've
are
rerouted.
now?
They've rerouted.
So what's going on in 2012 now?
I don't know.
You gotta be up on this shit. You can't just be fucking like.
I got really getting late started on his alien abduction.
Yes, it's
Dude,
awesome.
we're way past that shit.
They ain't do something for them.
We're next level shit here.
Yeah.
You're talking about alien
I
wars
just
and
want to
shit.
determine if I should fucking just live my next 2 years up. Oh, yeah.
So you'll see lots of laser stuff pointing around, and under infrared, under night scope, you'll see that as these long lights. And of course, it's green because it's night scope stuff. So we'll run that, and let's see how we run it, and we'll take it from there.
advise 3 movers, internal building 207.
I do not have to remind you that we are fighting forces that we do not understand. Anything could happen. But we are fighting forces that we do not understand. Anything could happen.
But it is going to bother you because you're human, and I was human. I am human still. And I was human. I am human still.
You're human, and I was human. I am human still.
You're human, and I was human. I am human still. But I was just referring to myself in the past. Not that I was not human.
You do these live Q&As. Some of them are very silly. So we got one. Mark, are the allegations true that you are secretly a lizard? I'm gonna have to go with no on that. I am not a lizard, but keep the high quality comments coming in.
Likely the most controversial conspiracy theory. Some believe that reptilians have infiltrated the world's governments. So, from a reptilian head to a full transformation, join us. A popular Islamic preacher, Yusuf Estes, is the founder and host of Guide TV. Interestingly, during one of his services, Yusuf's head briefly transformed into a reptilian-looking creature.
And I don't do it through debates. I don't need to debate any Christian. I was a Christian. I am a Muslim. If you want, I can give you both sides, easy. But he will ask you if you delivered the message. I'll play both parts. I'll be the Christian and tell you this, and then I'll be the Muslim and give the answer. You were at a place and you saw somebody change their religion to another religion in the temple of that religion, and the father was the priest there, what would you think?
As previously mentioned, most alleged reptilians are identified by facial transformations, including notably the eyes. In one video, taken from the BBC programme Antiques Roadshow, an unidentified person oddly stares at the camera. Further, his eyes appear far larger than normal. Another transformation revolves around the tongue. In 1995, NBC News reporter Isaiah Carey supposedly swallowed a grasshopper during one take. However, others believe that both the grasshopper and Carey's exaggerated reaction were merely a distraction away from the tongue. Bizarrely, it appears to be too large, an odd colour, and generally distorted.
What really happened on that Thursday here at Augusta High School that led to Chris Wood's death?
Whilst the majority of reptilian videos only show a minor malfunction, a few actually contain a full transformation. In this controversial CCTV video, an unknown person walks towards an alley, stops, and is replaced by a larger shadow, whilst the original body remains in place.
¿Sí lo estás filmando?
Sí.
¿Sí?
Sí.
¿Y si lo estás captando? Vale, ahí te va.
In a similar doubtful, but intriguing video, filmed last September in Mexico, a shapeshifter appears to take the form of their boyfriend.
Lo tuyo. ¿Por qué me grabas? Ya guarda el celular. Ya, ¿sabes qué? Ya me voy, ya. Me vale madre, me voy. No, ya.
¿Vivo?
According to this conspiracy theory, those in politics are merely reptilians in disguise. One example of this is Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel. In September 2012, during a press conference, viewers noticed that his eyes seemed to transform.
That I think are very, as I said, respectful of our teachers, does right by our kids, and is fair to our taxpayers. The issues that remain are minor. The issues that remain are minor.
Meanwhile, in this video, former Secretary of the Treasurer, Timothy Geithner, appears to cover up an eye malfunction. Further, on June 15th, 2010, US General David Petraeus appeared to faint during a Senate hearing. Interestingly though, theorists believe that at one point, his face looks completely inhuman.
An arbitrary timeline, and the best way to
We're going to recess for...
I never know exactly how to make my opinion clear, because I object to all punishment whatsoever. I don't want to punish anybody. But there are an extraordinary number of people whom I want to kill. Not in any unkind or personal spirit, but it must be evident to all of you. You must all know half a dozen people at least, who are no use in this world, who are more trouble than they are worth. And I think it would be a good thing to make everybody come before a properly appointed board, just as he might come before the income tax commissioners, and say every 5 years or every 7 years, just put him there and say, sir or madam, now will you be kind enough to justify your existence? If you can't justify your existence, if you're not pulling your weight in the social vote, if you're not producing as much as you consume, or perhaps a little more, then clearly we cannot use the big organization of our society for the purpose of keeping you alive, because your life does not benefit us and it can't be of very much use to you.
democracy in Europe will not bring any benefit to the human race at all.
He knows how to turn the situation to his advantage.
I hope that the American people in this country will not be kidded by my moustache, because after all, my heart is in the right place. That's the main thing.
Жанна, а что бы вы могли пожелать всему человечеству?
Самого главного – выжить. Выжить в том, что грядет. Что грядет.
Because look at that Masonic temple. You see that? The Masonic symbol? Yep. Are you flipping kidding me? Look at this. Masonic. And gosh darn it. We may not be going much further. But what the heck is this? Holy crap, holy. That is completely obnoxious.
Oh, shit.
And inside is this deep Masonic crazy stuff. We weren't able to make it into the Masonic Order's ritual dungeon.
But by one of the oldest members of the Royal Employee Staffs, they, according to what he knew, the DNA, the genetics was just too concentrated for that. And they had to have her due to the genetic situation. She went on to tell Christine Fitzgerald that the Queen Mother and Prince Philip both shape-shifted into reptilian demons to show Diana that what she was up against and to bully her into submission. Diana also told Christine that no, she wasn't hallucinating or crazy, that they were not a gecko-type lizard nor a typical garden lizard, but pure demonic. She noticed their eyes changing first, the form of their skull, their teeth became jagged, their skin oily looking as if they were sweating heavy salad oil. They could not hold themselves steady or still. The air in the room became immediately thicker with a smelly. She was terrified. She remembered looking out towards Charles, Camilla, and even her grandmother for some sort of help. That's Lady Fermoy. And they continued focusing on the Queen Mother and Prince Philip as if they were feeding on them, emotionally speaking. She would joke around with friends or try to pass it off as jokes that they weren't human. Anyhow, next they brought out a tool called the golden penis. It's something to do with Osiris' symbolism, which was used on Diana to signify the opening of the womb. It was described by Diana as reptilian shaped, I don't know what that means, in size, with needle-like protrusions, which were designed to scrape the walls of the vagina and cause bleeding. After using the golden penis on Diana during the ritual that night, they allowed her to bleed into a bowl. After collecting this bowl with enough of Diana's vaginal blood into it, they prepared it in the same way a priest would prepare communion, mixing a small amount of her blood, and they poured into the mixture into a chalice and passed it around while they were chanting demonic chants regarding fertility. But it was all spoken in Latin. Diana was not very well versed in Latin. She did, however, understand the word fertility. After the ritual was over, she was told that she would never again be honored by attending any more rituals, and any future rituals would not be questioned, period. They had 2 rituals for each of her children, one on the eve of their birth and one on the fresh dawn of the first 72 hours of life. She was not allowed to attend, of course, and was not allowed to know what took place. Diana's doctor did confirm that he did prescribe her birth control pills on the down low, but Diana felt like the tablets had either been replaced with placebos or they had administered something in the way of her meals that counteracted the tablets, because she felt it had been too easy for her to become pregnant both times. She was extremely scared to have children with this family. Diana suffered greatly during her marriage to Charles. She became extremely bulimic, had huge anxiety issues and serious issues with sleeping. She admitted she was extremely scared of this family, particularly Charles. She had no trust for. But at the same time, as sick and twisted as it sounds, she wanted his love and acceptance. She had his children for him, and she felt like maybe that would bring them closer together. But their life was pure hell together.
In this shocking confessional by Illuminati whistleblower Arizona Wilder, she confirms what many conspiracy theorists have claimed to be true, that the Queen of England is in fact reptilian.
Dr. Joseph Mengele, who took me around to these rituals a lot of the time, was also a shapeshifter. There are people in the European countries that I've seen shapeshift and be involved. The Queen there, I've seen Princess Margaret there, I've seen Charles there, and they shapeshift. I have seen Tony Blair there, and he shapeshifts. They all have their quirks as to how they act, even in their reptilian form. Someone who's been talking about around this subject, and it seems to be popular right now.
Who's that?
This man by the last name of Sitchin. I've seen at rituals, and he is a shapeshifter.
What do you remember about Zachariah Sitchin?
Zachariah Sitchin was someone in the rituals attending the rituals who was not a major player in as far as the rituals went, but was someone that others present did not make remarks at, or were very careful as to what they said around him. And he was talking about, he would be talking about doing away with people, persons that were in his way, or were putting out information that he didn't feel that he wanted put out. He is very much a disinformer, and that is his job, to disinform about what is going on with the Illuminati and with the reptilians.
He actually warned me off from investigating the reptilians, interestingly.
There are eggs. It's like a nest of eggs kept down in that part where it's warm. It's very warm down there into this entrance. And these eggs are kept down there incubating, and they are the reptiles' eggs.
What have you seen the royal family do, the Queen Mother, and the other people you've seen in the rituals? What have you seen them do?
I've seen all of them drink human blood and consume human flesh, and they have their own goblets in which they have blood, and these goblets are encrusted with jewels, and they also have their own daggers, and that the dagger goes into the goblet. Wear these robes, but they don't wear anything underneath the robes, because what is going to happen, what the rituals are all about, they're going to shapeshift, and they can't have anything on under the robes. And there are orgy kind of things that go on at the rituals also. And
involving the royal family of Britain.
yes, involving the royal family of Britain and the sacrifice and the eating of, consuming the sacrifice, and they are involved in that.
And you've seen them do that?
Yes, I have seen them do that.
People in Britain, listening to what you're saying, would obviously be staggered, I guess anywhere in the world, but what would stagger them mostly is in Britain, the Queen Mother has an image of being the nation's grandmother, the nice old lady, and good old Queen Mum, what a lovely lady. What's your experience of the Queen Mother?
She is very cold in reality, and she is very cruel. She obviously, from what I see, enjoys consuming human flesh. It's sickening.
Do they go into a different state in terms of age and strength and all these other attributes when they actually shapeshift?
Yes, the human body that they choose to occupy or take when it was young, it ages, but when they take the reptilian form, these reptilians live hundreds of years, and so they have to have taken more than one human body to live in. A lot of them are much, much older, and I'm including the Queen Mother in this, older than people think that she is. She's been in more than one body, human form. And when the time comes, if it is time for her to go on, it has been chosen that she still has, it's known that she still has life or years to go, again, she will be put into the body, the essence of her, and the reptilian form will go, or the essence of her will go into another body that is also has the ability to shapeshift into reptilian form.
One of the pure reptilian human bloodlines.
Yes.
What happens when, take the Queen Mother as an example, what happens when they shapeshift? I mean, what do you see?
You start to see changes happen, and they're happening so fast that it's almost, it's the closest thing that I've seen to it is what they're now doing with computer technology. It's just a literal transformation that happens very quickly, and they get taller and they get bigger, and they don't look at all as reptilians like they do as humans, and thus the wearing of the robes, because if they were in clothes, the clothes would be torn apart.
So let's take the Queen Mother on this subject as an example. We recognize her as a frail old lady. What does she look like when she shapeshifts at these rituals?
She has, she looks like, the nose portion gets very much longer, and it grows into kind of a snout kind of thing. She has little fangs, and incisors as teeth, and there's a tongue. They all seem to have this kind of tongue when they're at this level. The tongue has a lot of long, hairy or pointed projections coming out of it. It's very long. And they have these, they don't have hands or feet, they have these claws. And they have scales, and also scales that seem to kind of disappear into one another, but it's more pronounced on the back. There seem to be lumps or protrusions coming from the head. There seem to be some kind of growth appendages at where, on the back, and they seem folded. and not all of them have that. And there is a tail, and they a lot of times will keep the tail curled. And and I've seen her when she's very displeased with something, as I've seen other members like this. This tail is whipped around, very agitated, and they do, and she hisses.
What color are they?
Which one in particular?
Take the Queen Mother as an example.
She's kind of a beige color on the underside, and by the time you're going up around to the back and the tail and the top of the head and on top of the nose, snout, whatever, it's coming to a very they're dark speckles or large speckles of dark browns, and the eyes usually they're large. They look like they're very round, and they look like they're coming out of their sockets, and very protruding. And usually the color ranges from a beige to a gold to a dark greenish gold, and then there's this dark slit up and down, a vertical slit, and and the eyes will look hooded, and when they look hooded, it's a very frightening thing, because it seems that when the eyes are hooded, they're about to do something.
What do you mean by hooded?
The lids come down, and it's almost, I guess it would be the same thing in a human as an expression of someone's got an idea.
And how tall are they when they shapeshift?
They're just about 7 feet tall. Some are a little shorter, or to a foot shorter. Some are a little bit taller than 7 feet.
What is it about the rituals that allow the shapeshifting to happen?
When the victims are starting to be sacrificed, it's the scent of the blood, and they start shape-shifting at that point in time, and they can hardly wait to get to the blood. It's like they're addicted to the blood, and then the consumption of human flesh that follows.
What have you seen the Queen or any of the royal family do in relation to that? Have you seen them sacrifice and consume human flesh?
There are certain times when they will actually do a sacrifice, or there will have been someone doing a sacrifice, and it's not happening fast enough for them. So they will step in and finish it themselves, because the sacrifice the ritual has to be gone through. It's sacrificially, ritualistically, it has to have been gone through, and they will step right in and just start tearing the throat out, and they're getting all this blood from the jugular vein at the same time, and that has happened when there are many there that are going to be sacrificed, and they just can't wait, and tearing into the contents of the abdomen and stomach of victim afterwards.
Who have you seen do that?
I've seen the Queen Mother do that, and Prince Philip and Charles. I've seen Guy de Rothschild do this. It seems that I've seen it more among royalty, or so-called royalty, do this than people that are not titled. They don't seem to. They seem like it feels like they don't dare, but they shapeshift nonetheless. But it's like the royals that step in and just start tearing away as they can hardly wait.
How long can they hold the reptilian form in these occasions?
During the rituals, it's much easier for them to hold their reptilian form. They can stay in that form. What it is that they have a hard time holding their human form. And as long as they're around blood and the scent of blood, they can't hold a human form.
Was there any way, when Diana was married to Charles, without attending a blood ritual, that she could have seen him or one of the others become a reptile?
They have a tendency when they're asleep to shapeshift and not. They have to consciously hold their form, and when they're asleep, they have a tendency to not hold human form and to shapeshift into reptilian. That scent of blood would tend to cause a momentary shapeshift.
I wondered if you could talk more about the Draconians and the children that are missing. I know you have information, and I'm hoping you'll share it with us today.
This is the one subject I don't like to talk about. The Draconians. Okay, the Draconians are a very large reptilian race. They've been known as the Dracs. There is a royal line of...
I wondered if you could talk more about the Draconians and the children that are missing. I know you have information, and I'm hoping you'll share it with us today.
This is the one subject I don't like to talk about. The Draconians. Okay, the Draconians are a very large reptilian race. They've been known as the Dracs. There is a royal line of the Draconian reptilian race, and they're called the Seekar. They range anywhere from 14, 15 to 22 feet tall. They can weigh up to 1,800 pounds. They do have winged appendages, and they are awesome, awesome beings. They're extremely clairvoyant, they're extremely clever, and they can also be extremely sinister. They apparently were brought to our time and space, our universe, in full physicality. Somebody brought them here and dumped them here. I don't know, and the Andromedans still don't know. But they were brought here in physicality, and they were taken to Alpha Draconis and stars nearby because it gave them the greatest chance of survival. So they were kicked out of some other place. Anyway, they are definitely a major factor to be reckoned with. They, for the most part, are service to self. They do not care for the human race because when they were dumped here, they were told that this was theirs to command. So whoever did this really screwed up. And they still have this mindset. They were one of the first to chart our solar system. In fact, they were the first of the ET races to actually put their flag on it and say it's theirs. Apparently, some of them still have the attitude that everything on it, in it, still belongs to them. And I understand that some of them have been coming back, and more will be coming back. It's going to get real interesting, folks. I can't begin to tell you how interesting it's going to get. They apparently they have had space travel for 3 billion years. They are a remarkable race. They really are. But they have an attitude. And a lot of human races in our galaxy and outside our galaxy have had problems with them. And I don't want to say that all of them are like that, but that's really all that I've heard from the Andromedans. They've had major problems, as all the other races have. They are definitely reptilian. They look like velociraptors, except they're like 22 feet. And they're smart, they're intelligent, they can build. They're just very, very different from us. They apparently attacked Lyra or came across human colonies in Lyra. Now, the human race was not created in Lyra. Okay? It was brought there to survive. And again, the Lyra, from what the Andromedans have told me, for some reason, once they go back approximately 427 million years, they just don't know what else is there. For some reason, there's no history beyond that, even though the physicality is there. So I don't know if it's being blocked from a higher level or what. They don't even know. The Draconians were flying through there. They came across these human colonies who were agricultural in nature. Basically because of their talents of horticulture and plant science, they were literally making the planets greater and better. Little gardens. When the Draconians flew by and they saw this incredible wealth of food, they basically wanted to control it. And apparently there was a misunderstanding between the lion races then, who were human, and the reptilian race, because the Lyrians wanted to know more about the Draconians and the reptilian race before they gave them what they wanted. And apparently the Draconians misunderstood it and literally went back and then attacked the planets and killed a lot of people. Blew up 3 planets. And the Lyrians were literally forced to migrate and scatter into different parts of our galaxy. So it did in a way facilitate colonization. And I wrestle with whether the Draconians were planted here specifically to force us to evolve, or if there's some other agenda here. I simply don't know that. But that's basically what I know. I do know that not only them, but other reptilian races that are descended from them. Also, the Draconians, the reptilian races, are master geneticists. And I'm told that most of the dinosaurs and many other life forms that were on Earth were brought here then. Also on Mars. Apparently Mars was very much like the Earth at one time. And they came to Mars first. That's literally where our human form was created, by the way. Was on Mars. That's where the primate and the human genes were brought together. Was on Mars. And then we were brought here to work as slaves in the mines. Okay? So we're still working for a paycheck. And they enjoy human flesh, and they enjoy children mostly for 2 reasons. One, they don't have the pollutants, the caffeine, the nicotine, and things of that, all the processed foods that the adults have. And 2, when they're put into a state of fear, their energy field and their adrenaline just explodes, and they get a rush from it. Be dedicated to family and be dedicated to each other, folks. That's the only way we're going to get through a lot of this. Next question.
You talked about eating of children or people, and while I was there, you said it was because of the purity of the passion and emotion brought up the fear, the high fear, and the high adrenal activity was attractive to them. I understand that, but an advanced technology, it would seem to me, would be able to clone their food or clone. We can make adrenaline supplements or different things.
Okay. Now, I want you to look at this idea. When is anything that's a clone as good as the original? Okay. What you fail to realize is, yeah, they can create clones, and they have human clones, but you cannot put soul in it. Okay? You may grow an organic processor in the brain to get them to act and do everything, but there's no soul attached to it. And as long as there's no soul, you don't have true emotion. True emotion? Well, your adrenaline rush. Okay, if I were to go over and do something to you and scare the hell out of you, okay, you would have a very serious emotional rush. Okay? They're addicted to the peaking of that emotional rush. It's like a narcotic to them because they don't have it. That's why they're so interested in us. They're numb. They're numb. Their physicalities are numb. They're all in their head. They're in self-imposed loneliness. Okay? Yes? I'm sorry? Yes, ma'am, they do. The question was, do they terrify the children? And I said yes. Yes, ma'am.
Alex, what is it precisely about the human mind that makes us so worthy to be feared and suppressed? What is it that's very unique to our 22-strand genetic makeup? And also, what is our free will compared with their free will? It seems to imply that, do they have free will in the same way that we do?
Okay, is that it?
That's that question. The second thing is you haven't finished the earth changes yet.
Thank you for busting me. I appreciate it. Okay. As far as our mind, I don't really know that it's so much the mind as it is our extremes of emotions, our essence. They've always stressed not so much what's in the mind, even though that's important to be able to control the creative force of emotions. It's more so the emotions. Because we are able to contain all of that inside physical form, that's what they're most attracted to. Because they want that, because the races have lost, I've said this before, some of their passion, and they are becoming more and more dependent on technology. And here we are steeping ourselves deeper and deeper into physicality, when in fact we have the ability to just leave all this behind. So we are not correctly using our power as a race. In fact, we're wasting it. And they're more attracted to that. And I'll do the earth changes after we've gone through a lot more questions. Okay? Next.
I'm a former Minister of National Defence for Canada. Although as Minister of National Defence, I had sighting reports of UFOs. And I said, UFOs are as real as the airplanes flying overhead. That at least 4 species had been visiting Earth for thousands of years. There are live ETs on Earth at this present time, and at least 2 of them probably working with the United States government. And these tall whites were living on United States Air Force property and working in cooperation with the United States Air Force and sharing technology.
We have contact with aliens not originating from some foreign country, but from some other soul.
What did you learn? Well, I met with my job. I work for UNICEF, which is an amazing organization that works in over 150 countries. And my job is to meet with teenagers who were living in exclusion, who are living in extreme poverty, or living with HIV, and write their stories. Listen to their stories and write them for UNICEF. And so, I mean, I obviously learned so much from these kids. I learned from Anna in particular, who has lived an extremely difficult life. I learned to live each day to its fullest.
Excuse me, Johnny. Hove, England, 2008. In the middle of the night, 20-year-old Charmaine de Rosario Sage is sleeping in bed when she awakens to a frightening sight. A reptilian humanoid staring down at her.
I woke up. A reptilian came into the room. We went to an underground cave. There was a group of reptilians there, and they stood round me in a circle. Each one of them put one hand on my body, and I slowly changed. And it was the most amazing, but also sort of bizarre situation to look down at your body and see it morph from your human form into a reptilian form. To see the skin shift from being smooth into scales, and to find that I had a tail.
Could Charmaine's incredible story be true? Was she really transformed into a reptilian human hybrid? Charmaine claims she learned from her abductors that all humans today are byproducts of alien genetic manipulation, some more than others.
At certain points in our history, different ET races have come to this planet, and they have not manipulated all of humanity, but certain groups.
The reason and agenda for alien intelligences to be on this planet manipulating humans and animals is because there are wars out there between different types of intelligences about territory. And that those territorial wars involve populations of created and manipulated life.
If reptilian extraterrestrials have inhabited Earth for thousands of years, are they content to continue hiding out underground? Or is the day fast approaching where they will step out of the shadows and announce their presence once again?
The Christians are waiting for the return of Jesus. The Jews are waiting for the return of the Messiah. The Islamic community is waiting for the return of Muhammad. The idea of this return did not originate with any of those religious figures, but it in fact originated with the promise by extraterrestrials that they would return in the future.
Tradition tells us that the army of the Messiah is not to come from heaven, but is to arise from inner earth, and therefore dominate the surface world.
Perhaps we are now at this special turning point in our history and the timeline of planet Earth, where the reptilians and the other extraterrestrials will announce themselves.
Is a vampire sucking the lifeblood of this town.
Chrissy Glow, sir. How about blood transfusion? We have some new small batch single donor plasmas.
The double. They'll put the coal back in my porter.
divulge your secrets.
Please, my lord, help me.
Give the crystal everything. Give it your very What have you done? Now, wait. Behold. Here is the answer we think. Here is life everlasting.
Who controls the British crown? Who keeps the metric system down? We do. We do. Who leads Atlantis off the maps? Who keeps the Martians under wraps? We do. We do. Who holds back the electric car? Who makes Ye Gutenberg a star? We do. We do. Who robbed Statefish of their sight? Who rigged every Oscar night? We do. We do.
Gud, det ser ut som att de kommer från en helt annan tid, eller hur?
Precis.
Mm. Du kommer. Är han naken?
The expectation is to act very dignified and proper around the Queen. But of course, sometimes nerves get the better of you. Check out 9-year-old Nathan, who was meeting Queen Elizabeth yesterday. You see, he's going to look at his face. He looks petrified.
That kid right in the middle there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's with his parents, David and Carrie, who are former Fame Academy judges. So here comes the Queen. Let's just watch this happen.
We're going to present the ceremony for us today. We're hosting today. This is our adoptive son.
Right out.
That's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Look at his face. You can tell he's like, oh, how do I do this? I'm just petrified. How do I act? What do I say?
This is so good, right? And so what happened? So he forgot, he sort of starts to bow.
No, I think you just want...
Watch. I think he starts to bow, and then he okay, I'm out.
He's just too nervous. Like, nope, I'm getting nervous. Imagine if an adult did that.
Listen, man, when you see your opening, you got to take it.
That was there. At least he said, he either says hi or bye from the other room. So, if he's that far distance away, he'll say something. Tracy says, OMG, that's hilarious. I'd be mortified to be the parent. The parents are laughing at least.
Man.
That's
fun
with it.
Kids are kids.
Next says, if I was the parents.
Yeah.
Isabel says, that's so funny. He's free to do as he pleases. But you wonder, if an adult had done that. She's like, nope, can't do it. Leaving.
I'll tell you, if an adult did do that, it would be Kate McKinnon.
Yeah.